Hello, we're going to try this time a video blog because everybody tells me that is the new world. People don't read, people watch. So we'll do it, although videos are not as precise as the written word. I write my blogs, no, I don't write my blogs. I rewrite my blogs sometimes 15 to 20 times. I write it and my editor edits it, and I disagree, I rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it. I even rewrite it 5 minutes before it's published because every comma counts to be real clear, which you cannot do when you do a video, unless you're reading from a transcriber, which I don't want to do. I might in the future. This blog is about useless, uncalled for, misunderstood, marital wars which have the character of criticizing each other. First of all, let's understand why do we criticize each other, and then why is it useless? Why is it not called for? What is the misunderstanding? And then what to do about it. Why do we criticize each other, judge each other? Well, it starts with the fact that we marry our opposites. We don't marry somebody who has the same style like we do. And in my book, The Power of Opposites, I explain why. Because none of us is perfect. We all have weaknesses. And we marry somebody who excels in our weaknesses. We actually fall in love with our weaknesses that the other party has as a strength. In order to get a perfect system. And that is what is desired to raise children healthy. If you're a single mother, you probably will say from time to time, this child needs a man in the house, quote unquote, doesn't have to be a man, can be a female with a masculine energy. Because I cannot be a mama and a papa at the same time. And the same time for the man. A single man raising children will say, this kid needs a mother. We are a complementary team, and marriage is a complementary team. And we fall in love with the differences, but then after we get married, the problems start. The reason why we got married are the reasons why we are annoyed. Those differences start to bother us. And that is how the criticism starts. Now, why is it useless? Why it's not called for? Why it actually does not work? On the opposite, it can lead to a divorce. Because when we see the weakness in the other person, which is our strength, we get annoyed why the other person does not do something which is so easy for us. For instance, I might be on time. I really like being on time, actually 5 minutes before time. And my spouse is always late. She will be late to her funeral. She's always late. So what is so easy for me to be on time might be very difficult for her. For whatever reasons. She was not educated that way, she was not trained that way, she did not grow that way. Irrelevant why. I don't want to get into the why. But the fact is, that's her weakness. My strength could be seeing the big picture. She sees the trees. I don't see the trees. She doesn't see the big picture. And now we start criticizing each other. Why aren't you ta 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 ta? And the ta 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 is, why don't you do what I'm so strong in doing? Which means, why aren't you like me? Hello? The reason why you married each other is because you are not like you. If it was like you would not be married. Expecting somebody to do what you're strong in, although by definition they're weak in, is simply a misunderstanding of reality, that we are all strong and weak in different things. So what do we need to do? A, don't criticize. It does not help. It only rubs it to the other person how weak they are in what they are manifesting that bothers you. The word "why don't you" is offensive. It basically says, why aren't you like me? Who the hell are you? Are you perfect? And it goes back and forth. Your spouse will criticize you for what you are weak in and the spouse is strong in. We simply accuse each other for not being what we are. Good luck. What do we need to do? One is make the other person aware of their weakness. Aware, not criticize. Number two, help them. Help them. They're weak. And you need help too. Ask them to help you in what you're weak. Complement each other. Please look at this hand, the symbol of the Adizes methodology. Different together. Different together. And we need to help each other work together. Next, instead of criticism, when the person with a weakness makes a little bit of improvement and they really try, applaud it, reward it. Like a child that is weak, a little toddler, he falls, right? Do you criticize them? Hey, how did you fall? Well, you shouldn't have fallen. Should have stood up. It's a toddler. The muscles are still weak. So what do? When they succeed to walk the first step? You applaud. You encourage them. You're so happy. We should applaud each other, acknowledge each other for the improvements we do with our weaknesses. But don't expect us to change totally. That's not going to happen. There is no total change. Don't have in your mind a picture of a spouse that is perfect. Nobody is perfect. There is no perfect wife, no perfect husband, no perfect child, no perfect parent, no perfect rose. Why? Because of change. So if a spouse is making a mistake today and it annoys you, wait a day. There will be a new day. And if they're perfect today, don't hold your breath. It's not going to be so good tomorrow. Why? Because we are human and alive. So when is it now really hopeless? When your spouse, the other one, refuses to make any effort to improve, even a little bit. At least they show willingness to connect, to improve, even a little bit. Because hope is extremely important. When you lose hope, it's all over. Thank you very much, and all the best.